Welcome to Podtendo's Twilight Princess Retrospective. In this 5-part series, we will explore the dark themes, the new control mechanics, and the interesting new assortment of characters as we journey through this game. It has been a long journey. There have been obstacles, puzzles, and challenges. And there is no time to rest now, so equip your master sword, ready your bow, and gauntlet those beefy forearms as we get ready to explore Twilight Princess.
What's wrong? You've met a terrible fate, haven't you?
Hey guys, welcome back to Podtendo's Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess Retrospective Part 4. I didn't write a before and after in this one. What's going on, note guy? Come on. I'm your co-host, Mick. I'm joined by
Tyson.
Nice. We welcome you to this 40th year anniversary of The Legend of Zelda. That's right. The original OG was released 40 years ago. It's been in our lives for a heck of a long time. So we're giving this game an pretty acclaimed title. I think we've kind of enjoyed our experience thus far. A bit more of a royal treatment than just rushing through those bad boys. So previously, we took time and we talked about nothing. Then in episode 2, we talked about at least the first 2 dungeons. Forest Temple, Fire Dungeon. Last time we did Water Temple, Arbiter's Grounds. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So kind of into the meat and potatoes, diving a little bit into the story, meet some guys, and go from there. But we are coming to the end of the podcast, so we are going to look at some side quests today as well. So look at some side quests. We'll roll through the next 2 dungeons at the very least, save the last 2 dungeons for the last show, and then we're going to end with, I think we're looking at kind of companions, and we're going to go and talk about all the companions in this game across the series. I've got a big chart at the end. Yeah,
it should be a good time.
Cool. I laughed. I listened to, I don't know why I did this to myself. I don't know if I listened to them all. I might have. But I was like, maybe it was like our Final Fantasy VIII retrospectives. And at the end, I have a battle. And it's between Final Fantasy VII and Final Fantasy VIII. One of the categories is, does this game have a flying school? So, it's not that kind of a chart. It's a normal chart with facts.
That's fair. I always like our little games, so I look forward to them.
Perfect. Yes, there we go. So what we are talking about today is The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. It was developed by Nintendo EAD. It sold 8.85 to 9 million copies. 7.26 million were just sold on the Wii. The release date was November 19th, 2006. How Long to Beat has this game at 30 to 40 hours. On eBay, a copy of this game is going to be go for over $200. Now, if you want to play it, you need an OG disc on the GameCube, a Wii U, or an emulator. And because it's not really readily available, and the Wii U is definitely overpriced, unless you have a Wii, just emulate it. It's fine.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure one day Nintendo will be like, we need a good quarter. Let's release a Twilight Princess. We'll release the ROM
on the
store and
GameCube
sell it
online that we kind of pay a subscription for. That's supposed to be your not online store. You just give games for free. That was like part of the deal. No, you're not doing that? Okay.
Yeah, when was the last time there was a new game announced for that thing?
There was... what did they put on? They put something recently. In the last, couple months? And it was not noteworthy. It was like, I see. You could have just not given us anything. But even N64, you know what, the NES and the Super Nintendo, they did a good job of releasing them and dropping them slowly. And then the N64, they just never did that. And the GameCube, they've never done that. Where's my Mystical Ninja? I want to play Mystical Ninja. Come on.
Yeah. Well, especially because it's just like...
Oh, but the licensing fees. Well, what if you just made them all available digitally and we could buy them and pay the licensing fees ourselves and you sell them as individual sales? Well, no, we want to do this thing, so then you have to pay our subscriptions we have online.
Yeah, we like that. We like that subscription model. It's like the worst.
It's stupid. You're stupid. You're a stupid company, Nintendo. That's why we play your games. Side quests of this fun game. So as you're playing through this game, what are things you could do? So you could be like, man, the story's great. It's thrilling. Oh, I can't wait to save a carriage again. Use my Gale boomerang. We could be like, all right, side quest. We get heart pieces. There are 45 in this game. Wow. And this game changed heart pieces. You need 4. That was it. That was the rule for at least, Link to the Past, Ocarina of Time, Link's Awakening, the Game Boy Advanced, or the color games, Oracles, Majora's Mask, Wind Waker. So, we had 7 titles. But yeah, you're right. Make more collectibles. Make it 5 instead of 4. I hate that. I'm like, I don't need hearts in this game. It's not difficult. It's not challenging. Stop it.
Yeah, this game doesn't need more collectibles.
No. It's just one of those... yeah.
Yeah. It's also one of those things where most of the time when I see a treasure chest, you just I look at my maxed out income and I go, I'm good. I'll just run past it. It's fine.
Yeah, it's the thing. We can't buy anything. If you wanted to create more of an intricate system, let us buy things. Let us collect items. Let us do some crafting, right? That's the side. That's
the only
eventually
reason
where we
the
get
economy's busted is because of one item.
Yeah. Oh, and it's just stupid.
And
right?
it's not even a good item.
No, not at all. It's just one of those things where collectibles, you're just But then even Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, people are like, wow, there's crafting there. Is there? You can collect these things and make a better salad. Oh, baby. Oh, boy. Poos! You can also fight Poos in this game, but only as a wolf, because that's when you can sense them. There are 60 in total, and if you get 20, some gold guy gives you a bottle of Great Fairy Tears. And if you collect all 60, you get infinite rupees.
Yes. Which would probably work well with the...
armor.
Magic armor.
Yeah, if there was end level content that you wanted to be invincible for,
or if this game got dramatically hard and you're in danger of dying at any point.
I have 2 bottles, 2 fairies. I think the closest I ever got was one of my fairies came out, and I was like, oh, only one more full health bar before I have to use the second fairy. Oh no. All right. That does nothing for you about golden bugs. There are 12 different species, a male and a female. So that means there's 24 in total. And if you collect them, you get rupees and bigger wallets.
In an economy where the money's kind of worthless, unless you want to there's a couple things you need cash for, and that's about it.
Yeah.
The rest, the upgrading the one shop or whatever, it's that's kind of necessary, I guess.
I invest all my money in the Castletown church. I go to the church and a guy asks me for money, so I give him money. I think maybe I get a heart piece from it, and I was like, I need to put it somewhere. Otherwise, maxed out the whole time. There's nothing to buy.
Oh, yeah, you just at all your, let me go refill all my bombs and everything. I'm I guess just spend every penny that you can, and then you walk out and you're well, I still have several hundreds of dollars I should deal with because I'm gonna walk into and it's so it's in every treasure chest. And it's oh, here's 50.
Yeah.
And then you walk into the next screen, you find another 2, and you're okay, well, here's 40, and you're oh. That's all I'm doing is collecting cash in this game. I just have so much money, and once you're maxed out, it's well,
yeah,
just. If it's not an important treasure chest, I'm just walking past it.
And I don't know what the answer is too, right? Because if you look at, say, the game before this, if you look at Wind Waker, they kind of have that end game treasure chart chest macabre at the end where you're kind of I guess I just have to go grind some rupees because I need to spend 500 rupees just to get my chart diagnosed from Tingle. And it does drain your bank account a little bit there, right? But it is one of those things where unless they had that big hurdle in this game coming up, right? Oh, you can't get... you battle through a dungeon and you get to the end and the guy's I need $2,000 for you to get this piece of mirror. I'm keeping it. And you're oh man, and you have to deposit some money and then come back and deposit some money. I don't know. At least at that point you're oh, I get why all those chests are there for this. Stupid. But yeah. Howling Stones. There are 7 hidden skills that can be collected via stones. And then you sing. And another wolf comes out, and you go and meet him, and he gets a sword, and he's a skeleton, and he teaches you a sword attack. Neat.
Yeah, kind of helpful.
Yeah.
I mean, some of the abilities just make this game that's pretty easy even easier.
Yes.
But yeah,
Yeah. If you have, it's like Helm Splitter. I had that at one of the dungeons we're going to talk about today, and I was like, well, cheeses all these fights. Good. A mini game, so would be a Zelda game without mini games. So we've got Fabali's Flight by Fowl. I think you go to Lake Hylia, you jump on a chicken, you fly around, you get heart piece. You can go fishing. There's bottles, maybe a heart piece. I didn't be bothered by fishing. Fruit Pop Flight Challenge. You fly a bird, Lake Hylia, and a heart piece. So this is like, I think you control a bird. Yeah.
yes, I want to say.
Oh, it's the Zora's River. You know when you have to do it when you're like the scary Twilight bird? I think you do it later with just like a big bird, but this time it's for mini games.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, there's a Izzy Rapid Ride. So same river, you're on you jump a boat, you got to shoot stuff. Hooray! Roll goal. It's a ball maze that gets you a special frog lure. Ooh.
I hope I don't need that in the future.
Yeah, that must be definitely like a Wii U edition where it sounds like a ball rolly maze. They're probably like, oh, take your gamepad. Oh, here it is. Oh,
Look, we have an accelerometer in here.
I was going to say, Wiimote does that too, so maybe it was Wii. Ooh, baby. Snowboarding. So you can race the Yetis for a heart piece.
Yep. You know what? I don't mind a snowboard mini game in any of these things.
Okay, and then finally
Quick,
there's a
easy
star mini game. So in Hyrule Town, you get double claw shots and you can jump around and collect, I don't know, zip around like Spider-Man. Neat. Cool.
Yeah. Claw shots are one of the cooler things in this game, but has the same issue that I have with a lot of these things is I struggle with the aiming so much because you can't switch it from inverted or whatever.
Sure.
It just like drives me nuts.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I mean, the mini games are just kind of the mini games. They've took some of the mechanics, obviously, in the game and just put some type of rules around them, right, to try and get you to kind of sink some time into it. Whereas, I don't know how you would do that properly, because it kind of feels like it's an empty, void, dead world that you're running around, but yet I guess we still have time for fun games. But they're all like that, right? Like telling me the digging mini game from Link to the Past was like, oh, that was groundbreaking. Wow. Right? Any of the at least the horseback archery stuff made kind of sense in Zelda, because I'm like, oh yeah, I can fire my arrow. When do I need this? Big bow hunt in this. That's it. Oh, perfect. Cool. What a fun mechanic, right? So they've always kind of highlighted it, but you almost wish there was more of a, I don't know, like an economy in the world. Maybe there's a mini game where you race someone, and it's like a race that happens around town, and it's part of the story. I don't know.
Well,
it's one of those things. It's just you wish it would fill out the world a little bit more. But one of my big gripes with Twilight Princess is I kind of hate all the Hylian people. I hate their designs. I hate the way they look, right? So I'm not enjoying interacting with the weird clowns or any of these people. Like, I don't want to talk to you. You're fucking weird and leave me alone, kind of thing. So that's maybe why I don't dive more into this game. Because I'm like, this weird golden Giovanni guy, I hate you. Agatha with your bugs, stop it. Bleh, go away.
Yeah, it's weird that they went like sad clown aesthetic across the board for like everything.
Yeah.
And the color saturation's like disgusting.
But it's more realistic.
I kind of get it. Yeah. Well, and I love how sometimes like they've done a lot of work with the lighting, but then it's also like all the color, everything's like a brownish hue, even like water, and you're like, why does this blue water not feel blue? Yeah. It's like 'cause everything just has like the saturation turned down or something. I don't know. It's weird. But it's also like, so I was thinking about it. In like, so Ocarina of Time, like there's a bunch of like memorable locations, and Majora's Mask is like, the town is essentially the most memorable town of any Zelda game of all time, because the entire game basically revolves around that town.
Yeah.
So when you get to like Wind Waker, open ocean, you kind of remember a few of like the things because everything's just kind of spread out. But like in this, man, everything just kind of blurs. Like it's just, it doesn't have that memorable Zelda cachet where it's like, I know even in Link's Awakening, it's like I can almost like draw that little town in my head, and I can draw like so many little parts of it in my head. Same with all the other Zelda games where like I can I remember the stairs in Majora's Mask. I remember the clock tower. I
Yeah.
remember all these like little locations. Whereas here you're like, there's a bar, there's a store,
Well, that's it.
there's
And because,
a field.
but it's like one of those like early video game limitations. You get to town and it's like this it's a hallway, right? It's a cross, and then they have like a little cul-de-sac on one side that kind of intersects the two crosses, and that's it. Streets are full of people,
Yep.
but no one says anything. They just run around. So obviously they involved so much energy and game brain and like like resources into just let's make it look like people are walking around. Now there's no ding 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 and people just doing the same animation, just mindlessly standing there. Like you get an Ocarina of Time, like, oh, they move around sometimes now. Wow, look, these soldiers are marching. And it just kind of seems like that's almost like it took so many resources that just everything feels dead and flat and lifeless, right? You kind of just said again and again, yeah, the game is big. Wow, it's the biggest high. It takes so long to get across the field, but if there's nothing to do, then what's the point?
Yeah. I just wish, like, I wish we got something close to like a Majora's Mask type of town in this world.
Yeah.
Like, I want to see some, like,
and I mean, that's like the
unique
next
locations.
Exactly,
and
that's
some-
the next level.
yeah.
Like Grand Theft Auto 6, people are like, "Oh, it's gonna be great." I'm like, it's just gonna be a bigger Grand Theft Auto 5. Like I played 5, it was okay, but at a certain point, I'm like, eh. So like, what could
That's-
6 possibly do? Well, the map will be bigger. So I have to drive more. Like it's not like driving is like the interest. Like I want less distance, more things to do. I don't think you're gonna get me that. But if you're telling me Grand Theft Auto 6, you're like, man, it's a fully fledged world. You play through a week, and like everything happens the same week. You can replay it again and again, and like the same things happen on the same days. And if you kill someone, it changes, and there's like butterfly effects. And I'm like, that sounds incredible. You built an actual world. Cool, let's explore. But they're not going to do that. So it's just been one of those things where things get bigger and longer and further apart and nothing in between. Gaming, everyone.
Or it gets to a certain point and then they just keep polishing the graphics till infinity, and it just
Oh, man.
like
I fell down.
nothing gameplay wise changes. It just graphics wise things
I
change.
fell down a bunch of, I don't know what they are, but if you're on Reddit and you're talking about buying, you should buy a Switch 2, because it's just like, it's like a Switch, but it processes a little faster and the graphics look better. They did nothing else, guys. They just kind of made the graphics better. And everyone's like, oh, you should buy it. Me and my girlfriend, we're going to buy another one because we love it so much. Really? Because it looks better?
Don't go down consumerist garbage. Most modern things are just slightly better versions of the past things.
Yeah, it's true.
If you can find the past thing on sale, buy the past thing. Like golf clubs, most like appliances, like car.
But I can't
things
get
in
old.
life.
But old
you
golf
don't need
clubs
to
don't
buy
even
new
come with a
things.
subscription. Huh. It's weird.
Yes.
Uh.
Or that old Honda Civic doesn't charge you a monthly fee to like have back warmers or whatever. You're like,
Shit.
old things. There's an old man yelling at a crowd. Old things were better. But for the most part, it's like, especially because we live in such a modern. This side tangents. Like because we live in such a like consumerist. Every generation needs a new thing. Well, when that happens, they got to discount the old things, or it goes to landfill. So what are they going to do? They're going to sell the same product for way cheaper, closer to what it actually should be charged. Just buy last year's models. Like I know you can just save so much bloody money by not buying into garbage marketing hype. It's like when things are on sale, it's like that's probably closer to what the actual price is than what it is. Unless they do those goofy Black Friday sales, are like, oh yeah, no, it's $200 off, and you like flip the card and it's the same price. Mm-hmm. So yeah. Such is life.
What other tangents could we go on? I haven't watched it, but I've heard Super Mario Galaxy kind of sucks. So who would have thought? Huh.
Oh, shocked.
But
I say.
But Illumination did make a lot of bright noises, or bright lights, loud noises, and it's littered with Easter eggs. If you've played a Nintendo game before, like there's a chance Charging Chuck is just there, and you're like, whoa, wow, now this other guy's here.
But how many musicals or songs are in this? Is it 20?
I don't know.
Because it needs to be close to the number 20, and it needs to just be like nothing but montages and nothing actually happening.
It's probably most
That's
of it.
what I want.
And it's one of those things, like, I was like, you know what? I kind of remember Detective Pikachu not being terrible. 7 years old. I mean, all the Pokemon are cute, and there's kind of no story, and it does kind of fall apart at a little bit at the end, but I'm like, yeah, it's competent. There's a, beginning, middle, and an end. Huh. But, like, again, they stopped, but yet Nintendo carries on. I just don't understand what's going on. I guess. No, I know what happens. They haven't made a good Mario game since Mario Galaxy came out on the Wii, and Mario Maker 2. And then before that, it was, like, Mario 64. So, really, they just kind of make terrible games, and they're trying to keep this terrible IP going based on great pillars, but most of it is just crap. Anyways, Twilight Princess. Oh, baby, we're back. Look at this. Look at this Segway Jones. In we go. Let's dive into the level notes. Pick up where we picked up last time. Talk about a couple dungeons, and then that's it. Not a lot for story. The second half of this game is basically just, go do some dungeons. Okay. I will. Oh, believe me. I will, mysterious guys in Hyrule. You're like, this council of 4 explorers that are like searching out these ancient secrets. They seem cool. What do they do? Nothing. Oh, okay.
They sit at a bar at a table.
I guess. It's nice to know there's like a shadow organized. I don't know, still. Anyways, chapter 14, Scaling Snow Peak. So, previously, we left the Arbiter's Ground. Let's find what happens. We exit the Arbiter's Ground boss area and appear on top of the ruins. We do a spinny puzzle to find the Mirror of Twilight broken into pieces. Some ghost sages appear and reveal that they used the mirror to banish Ganondorf into the Twilight Realm. Zant came into our reality with use of Ganon's Triforce of Power and shattered the mirror into 3 pieces, since he is not the true ruler of Twilight. Whoa.
Yeah. So Zant's not working with Ganon. Kind of cool. That's like, okay, now we got 3 parties in action. Got us, got Ganon in the background. We know he's always bad.
Yeah.
And this Zant guy. So plot-wise, at least there's some interesting things going on. I'll give the game some credit.
Yeah, kind of neat. Good introduce. And it's kind of that tie-in I think technically we're like 100 to 200 years post Ocarina of Time kind of world. So this is potentially the same Ganondorf from Ocarina of Time in one of the timelines where he just gets captured and imprisoned and they couldn't kill him, obviously. So then they send him to a different dimension after he kills the water sage. And everyone goes, oh no, not Princess Ruto. But I don't think it can be Princess Ruto because technically Princess Ruto was already killed in Ocarina of Time because all the sages were killed in Ocarina of Time. That's why they're all ghosts. That's why they all kind of like hang out on their own at the end. Therefore, afterwards, so technically it was like a child's timeline that they stopped him before he became Ganondorf because there wasn't like the whole he was a giant pig guy. So technically it wasn't Princess Ruto. It was like a different water spirit. So people that say that just didn't think and they just spoke. It's not Princess Ruto.
Is this same, what timeline is this one? Is this
Children's
Hero
timeline?
Time Fails?
I think it's
Children's timeline?
Yeah, so he goes back and he's like, hey, yo, we should stop this guy. And then I think they tell the king? I don't know. How does the Zelda timeline?
I was going to say, I'm like, which divergence is this on? I'm like, because for some reason I thought that this was on the where the hero time goes back, so there's no hero time. But no, then how he could have?
It's after Majora.
Okay. So he goes back in time. They tell the king he gets captured.
Yeah, it has to be after Majora, right? Because you get like the hero shade or whatever, right?
So Ruto, I don't know how long do Zoras live. I didn't think that they lived forever.
Yeah, but you were still a kid, so you came back and they captured Ganon pretty close, right? So in my mind, Ocarina of Time happens. You go back in time. Navi leaves. You say, "Hey, let's capture this guy. He's bad." They tell the king. He captures Ganon. You're like, "Okay, I got to go find Navi." You go off into the Lost Woods. Majora's Mask happens. You die. The current people, like Zelda's a little kid, they deal with Ganon, banish him to the Twilight Realm, within a couple years. So Zora is still a little girl, so it's probably her mom or something.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
That
Anyways,
makes more sense.
Yeah. So it wasn't Princess. It was just a water sage, and it could have been anyone. I don't know. Princess Ruto was afterwards. it's Hyrule, guys. I think they're kind of racist. Chances are they're all a bunch of old white guys. So, you know why they kind of look like old white guys in masks? Probably because of a bunch of old white guys. And it was like, oh no, once all the old white guys die, I guess we could ask the fish people to be a sage.
Suddenly it's Metal Gear. We're talking about the Patriots.
Yeah. Pretty much. So anyways, so that happens. We journey back to Castletown and are told to go to Zora's domain. Here, we meet a girl dressed as a Yeti. She reveals that a Yeti has been spotted near Zora's domain stealing fish. We need to find a fish, travel to Kakariko Village to find the Zora Prince, get a hook, catch a fish, smell the fish, and follow the scent over the frozen tundra. At the top of the mountain, we find a Yeti and then snowboard to his house.
Yeah, kind of cool little snowy area to cruise around. The wolves are pretty quick, and I think that like one of them are interesting. Because what are wolves actually called in Bloody? They're always a different name.
Wolfos? No.
Wolfos? Yeah, maybe. Anyways, they're like kind of a cooler area. I always enjoy a snowboard minigame, and then and we get a pretty awesome drawing that is so legible that we have to go around and ask people to like what it looks like. I think at some point, So, good times.
Yeah, kind of goofy, kind of fun. It's one of those like limitations though, where Batman's X-ray vision. You just play the whole game with the X-ray vision. You don't actually enjoy the environments because, well, it shows you more stuff, right? It's the same as if you had like thermal goggles in a shooting game. Oh, I know where all the guards are. I'll just use the thermal goggles. I do find that using the Wolf Link sense to like know where the smell is a little off-putting because, yeah, you're running through this cool Arctic tundra and wolfos are running up and attacking you, and you just kind of like run forward through this dark, hazy sphere kind of thing, right? Versus if you just smelt and like your wolf senses always worked, you could track the smell wherever. I think it'd just be maybe a better use of the environments, right? It's just something I've kind of noticed. I'm like, it just gives you kind of tunnel vision, and you don't really see the forest for the trees. They just kind of run in a straight line. So that's like most video games with waypoints. I'm like, I have to go over there. Okay, just run. Okay.
More or less, you're like, I'm not even paying attention to the road. There's some bushes over here. Let me just barrel through these real quick.
Yeah, I'm good. Then where does that lead us? Then we're at the top. Yeah, we're at the ruins. The snowboarding game is fine the first time through. I think it can get a bit more challenging, especially if you go to challenge Yetta. Maybe she's faster or something like that. But pretty rudimentary. I did almost crash at the end. So I tried to like...
That one swing back like corner?
No. Literally on the bridge at the end. I was slowing down and there was a little like, I don't know, 5 blocks or something of a bridge, and you kind of go across and then you like hit the edge and then you fall off and now you can move around. And I'm like, oh, I'm done. Yeah. But I want to like walk around in the snow more. So I tried to like stop and ended up like glitching and crashing into the side, and then I had no momentum. And at one point I almost went up off the rails and fell over, and I had to like push myself back kind of awkwardly and like jiggle the controller to get to the end to like hit the wall, fall off, shake my head, climb up the ledge. I was like, oh god, that was really painful.
Yeah.
So
there's some jank. Jank.
Don't stop. I don't know what. Don't. I was like, I want to ollie. No, it's not a thing. Doesn't happen. But now we get to this weird snow peak ruins. Inside, we meet Yeto's wife, Yetta. She is sick and says she has the fragment of the Twilight mirror. First, we travel right, solve some puzzles, and find some ice guys to get a pumpkin. Okay, so now the real mirror is actually located to the left. So after some cannon puzzles, we fight a guard with a spinny ball. Probably the toughest enemy in the game. Unless you know that you can claw shot onto the roof and avoid his like swinging ball instead of just tanking all the shots to the face like I did. That's fun.
Yeah, but you're like playing chicken with this guy to like bait him out to throw it, and then you gotta like, okay, now.
Oh, and there was a couple times when I got stuck in a corner and he just like destroyed me. That's when I was like, well, good thing I have one extra fairy after this, because this guy is just killing me. Wow.
Yeah. Easy to get like pinned in a corner.
Yeah. But apparently for the hook shot, you can swing around. And I was like, gosh darn it. So you get the ball and chain and you find some cheese. Okay. So 2 in. at least on the plus side, we keep finding these like pumpkins and cheese, and we keep making the soup better. So you can restock your bottles and stuff, get upgraded soups. Okay, but now the real mirror is in her bedroom. So we solve a spiral room, solve some block puzzles, platform, use a cannon, and fight some ice guys. We get the bedroom key, and then you get a jump scare. So you come out of the room, and she's right there, and you're like, holy shit, and you kind of jump back. Then you slowly follow us to the bedroom, and then she jump scares us again. And we fight the frozen boss, Yetta.
Yeah, and becomes pretty freaky.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this game does pretty well when they're talking about the interlopers that kind of screwed up the Twilight and the Light Realms. There's some good imaging. This Yetta is it's an unsettling dungeon just in general. Lots of, basic, minor, nothing super crazy about this dungeon. I think there's a couple spots where you have to use your hook shot to get around, and I just wasn't in claw shot mine, so I kept missing them, and I was like, where am I going? I'm missing something, and I'd run around for a little bit. Finally, I find a walkthrough, and I was like, oh, you have to go in this room. Okay, perfect. And then, the big boss here. Neat use of frozen floors and a ball and chain and kind of smashy mechanics. Kind of gets you there. It's sort of fun. Yeah.
Yeah. Ends a little abruptly because it felt like it's got these big spikes that are falling after you, and I figured it was okay, so I'm gonna have to wear them down. There's 10 or 12 that are around you. I was I don't have to get them all down, so I was trying to get rid of them all. It's oh no, you do it 3 times and then it's dead. It's oh, that's easier than I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, definitely one of those where cool. Great, cool. We talked about the last couple episodes, the grandiose, the scale. This boss is up there, right? Doesn't have the big scale as the Stallflord, that big dragon, bone dragon guy, or say the big fish, right, from the water temple. But it's up there, right, in terms of scale. They have a really cool mirror effect on the ice, so as you're running around and slipping, you can kind of see her kind of fall above you and throw these big ice spirals at you, right? It's kind of neat. But from there, we're on to Chapter 16, the Sacred Grove, Round 2. So now we can solve puzzles all over the world to get heart pieces. We'll wait. Okay, did that. Okay, now you can race the Yetis to probably get some more heart pieces. For me, I just jumped right to town. I was like, nah, I'm good. I don't need backtrack. Boo. I talked to a girl named Talia, traveled to the northern Foron Woods. I got a new sword skill. I chased the Skull Kid again before gaining access to the Sacred Grove and entering the Temple of Time.
Yeah, good to see the Skull Kid kicking around, little jerk that he is. Yeah. But I'm just V-line it through a lot of these things because, like I said, I sometimes don't even bother with treasure chests if I know it's okay, just rupees, I don't care.
If the game was more difficult, had they made this game, a challenging, I would say Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom can be hard games, right? There's definitely challenging sections. You kind of have to have your head about them. I was like, cool, you did something, Nintendo. You did decent. This is, could you beat this with 3 hearts? Probably. I knew I did that back in the day with Ocarina of Time. Beat Ocarina of Time with only 3 hearts. It's not that hard. You need a couple fairies just in case you get hit, but most things it's wait, walk around. You're good. As long as you don't get pinned in a corner or something cheap happens to you, you're probably okay, right? So, nothing too crazy. Yeah, playing hide and seek in the woods again, I was like, guess we don't have that many ideas. So, although, I did screw up. Somewhere, the first time you leave the woods, you get the Master Sword, there's a big rock, and if you blow it up, there's a heart piece right there, and I was like, that's an easy one to get to. I'll get it this time. And then I just never got it. But I think it's because you go to a different area, maybe?
Could be.
Right? Because you're not at the same... Well, maybe you are in the same spot with the jumpy puzzles. I don't know. I don't remember. Anyways. From there, though, we get to Chapter 17. So the Temple of Time. And the last one we're talking about today. So, wow. We really crushed the middle of this game. Good pacing. Guys have made these notes. Boop, boop. So you enter the temple. You fight some spiders before making your ways up an 8th floor dungeon. On the way, be sure to stop and grab the master key on floor 6. It's kind of hidden. You have to use your claw shot to get this room. If you miss it, you'd run all over twice. The one with the big scale... Oh, the big scale thing you have to shift. Okay. Solve some logic spatial puzzles On the 8th floor, we fight some Dark Nuts, or at least this game's version of the Dark Nuts. Side note, one guy gives us fits in Zelda 1. Oh, I see. So we fight this game's version of the Dark Nuts. On a side note, in this game, one Dark Nut gives us fits. In Zelda 1, we are locked in a room with 8 blue Dark Nuts that take double damage, and we just handle it no problem. So maybe Zelda 1 Link is better than this Link because of how easily he takes down Dark Nuts.
Yeah. Have Dark Nuts gotten an upgrade?
Yeah, could be. Okay. When we do that, though, this gives us the Dominion Rod, and we can now access this temple's mechanics. So a giant statue can now be possessed by us, and we can slowly bring him down the tower, smashing puzzles, enemies, and so many spiders. Once he has reached the ground level, we can solve a very simple hallway and enter the boss door. Ooh.
Yeah. It's a kind of just a straightforward one. I kind of was like, oh, Temple of Time. Like, this is going to be like a pretty major chunk or have some like really interesting things. Then you just kind of keep climbing up and you're done. And there's a little bit of puzzles. I think the problem is this one also might suffer from being just the most straightforward, because if they made you backtrack between like floor 1 and 8 multiple times, you'd lose your mind. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I don't know. It's interesting in theory, but in concept, just kind of like feels kind of anticlimactic. But maybe the boss battle will be the linchpin of how turning this dungeon around and making it memorable and not forgettable.
The boss battle is a big spider. You have to shoot its eyes, and then you have to squash it by possessing these big statues that have hammers and swing, and you hit it. The boss does come equipped with a second form, but it's just one giant eyeball spider that can be dispatched with bow and arrows. So it's pretty exciting. Wow, cool. Temple of Time. Yeah, like, again, I guess the Dominion Rod is a thing, but it's kind of just like command melody. We've already done this sort of in Wind Waker, so it's nothing super crazy, and it's just like the more annoying version of like the Ben Drowned song from Majora's Mask, where you're kind of just like, now you could take other objects and 2 people in a room to solve a puzzle. Like, okay, neat, cool. Yeah, doesn't really get you there. I think outside of like maybe a handful, I don't even know if there's that 5, maybe 4, maybe 5 overworld dungeon puzzles, like it almost does nothing, right? So it is just kind of one of those things where like, I mean, I guess you had to go to the Temple of Time, but why? And there's no story reason. You just kind of run around looking for, like, why is it? Ooh. I think who hid this mirror? What's going on with this mirror? So thus far, we've been to old ruins where a guy found it. A Yeti found this mirror that was supposed to be like sacred and hidden. Okay, so that seems odd. This one, it was back in time. So I mean, that's a good place to hide something. But who did that? Yeah,
is it magic? Is this Zant? Did Zant do this? Was his like whole plan like shatter it?
He's like, I'll hide it in time. What?
Yeah, maybe.
But like, you need the Master Sword to open it, and then the little Ukoko, the weird little bird guy, like runs in there in front of us. So it's not like he hid it. Yeah.
You're definitely like, okay. So we established that there's like kind of 3 like parties involved. There's us, there's Zant, and there's Ganon. Mm-hmm. Zant destroyed the mirror.
Yeah, because he comes through and he breaks it, and then like I guess maybe he hit it.
But like I don't understand how the not Prince of Twilight can.
You can shatter
all these things.
You can fracture, but because he has Ganon's power, so he has like usurped power, right? He was given this power from Ganon to try and take over the throne, but he doesn't technically have like the royal lineage to have the actual ability, so he's just kind of like brute forcing his way through his plan.
Something like that.
Cool. Yeah, I'm not sure who hid the mirror, because Zant definitely broke it, and I guess if he didn't want you to go back in there, he hid them. But he just like, he dropped them up a mountain. And I guess, oops, perfect. Great. That's phenomenal. Amazing.
Yeah.
Then I'll hide one back in time, and then I'll
Yeah,
hide
like
the other
the
ones.
back in time one. That's a solid hiding place. Tossing one randomly where a Yeti can find it. You're like, maybe that's a good hiding spot. I don't know. I feel like there's better places to do that.
I would just like hide it somewhere that like doesn't have a walking path. There's no path over there. Perfect. You can never get to that spot on the map. There, let's put it out in the open. You can't get there. You don't have.
Or put it on a ledge that's not accessible by like slight climbs.
Yeah, done. This guy's stupid. He can't climb up a hill. But that's where we wrap up.
If you're
today.
going to give me a Beyblade item, I want everything to involve more Beyblading.
Yeah,
because it's the funnest part of this game.
Yeah, that's what they should have done with the snowboarding, skiing. Is you should have been like skipping around on your Beyblade, like ripping up the hill. Reuse that item.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Or like it's not a race down the hill; it's a race up the hill with the like real old ripper.
And we're like climbing up this mountain against this guy. Yeah, look at that. And then you race back down the track, and it's like different from the story mission. It's faster because you're going down, and now you can have a race.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. These are dumb thoughts because Nintendo didn't do them, so it's stupid. Why are we coming up with these dumb ideas? Obviously, Nintendo's smart. But
Yes,
one thing I noticed.
All hail.
One thing I noticed that we forgot is we haven't done mysterious areas of Hyrule. That's a staple in our last, at least a couple. I don't know if I did it for. I think I did it in Ocarina of Time, so I forgot. But back, mysterious places of Hyrule. We're gonna wrap up everything I missed because I suck. We have to hit them all. So Forest Temple, that's the first place we went to. It's theorized to be like the Great Deku Tree.
Must.
Something like that. The semblance of an old forest. I don't know. How about Kakariko Village or the Graveyard? So it kind of seems more of like a nomadic town built near a graveyard, but there's a warp spot to a lake across the map. So, maybe? I don't know. What's going on there? It's weird.
Yeah. Pass.
And I would say that I know for a fact that it's not the Kakariko Village from Ocarina of Time.
Yeah. I think it just every Zelda game needs a Kakariko Village.
Yeah, but I'm saying all I'm
Village.
saying is that it's weird that they built this new graveyard next to this new Kakariko, and you're like, how do you know it's new? I just have a feeling that it's not the original Kakariko Village. I don't know why though. Interesting. How about the Goron mines? So they kind of just seem like mines built in a hot springs, but they have like machinery. So is it kind of a sense of, if you look at like the Dongo Caverns, it was very like rudimentary, kind of basic, right? There was some platforms that moved around, but it was kind of like more of a function of the actual the dungeon. So as they just kind of like moved in to these guys' breeding grounds and took rocks. This is almost like more of a better system. So did they work with humans, right? Maybe they patched up some relationships with the Hylians and built some technologies. That's why they have these big kind of turning devices, more mechanical. They have magnets to move ore and stuff around the facility.
Or maybe during the Ocarina timeline, the Gorons are super dehydrated because they just don't have access to these hot springs, and maybe that's how they actually get better hydration. So then their brain starts working and they can be more industrialized. Because for them to it's been like 200 years. This is pretty dramatic, industrial revolution for a bunch of guys sitting around eating rocks all day.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like there has to be some type of change to get them to have like more mechanisms. I don't know. Maybe one day a guy was just watching that big pot. He's like, man, if you hooked up like a gear to it, we could like turn other things. He's like, I'm gonna build a crane. Okay, that's good. Good water. Water is smart. How about the Arbiter's Grounds? So like weird haunted ruins. They're haunted by ghosts. There's like a tie to a mystical realm. It's kind of built like a fortress. I don't know. I was like, kind of feels like it has a weird feel of like a forest temple almost.
Oh, 100%. That's what I felt whenever you're chasing around some pose and they like light up a center, four things in the middle of the like, okay, this is Forest Temple vibes for sure.
It was at the end of the Lost Woods. Like, is there a chance that somehow like the forest dies over 100 years and becomes a desert? Like, you could see that, right? Like, if a drought happens or a fire and it's just ash, right? Everything could become sand, depending some erosion. But I don't know. But then also there's this giant temple, and it's kind of more
Or the
like
Gorons like diverted the water to their hot
their
springs,
mines. Yeah,
and
okay.
then it dried out all of the forest and caused this massive ruin.
Damn those
because-
Gorons. Fucking around with the environment,
maybe-
not having
maybe-
any idea of the environmental impact on their society. We should hit these guys with FDAA.
Whenever there's an industrial revolution, you get massive environmental issues. And where did we see the biggest environmental issues? Is there's no longer a forest in this forest temple.
It's true. It's odd. Let's see. And then there is that weird painting room, and it kind of looks like the disc from the Sacred Realm in Temple of Time, and it looks kind of like the Temple of Time, and the Forest Temple kind of have the same kind of dichotomy and weird, maybe. And there's a mirror. How about Snowhead Mansion? It's just a mansion on a hill up in the mountains. Probably an ancient royal family resort or retreat, right? It has lots of turrets, right? So you could have a minor, actually an armory too. So you could have a small army come up, hold guard, and probably defend it for a while, right? Mm-hmm. You're up in the middle of the mountains, big house, big fortress. Probably royalty built it as a last defense kind of thing.
Or is this a little bit more who I was trying to think. I was who else could have had a bunch of economies? I'm thinking this is actually the house that the banker in Majora's Mask builds, because he's holding all these people money. I bet you this guy is really money savvy, and he's just pretending to be this. I'm just a banker or whatever. That guy's banking cash, and he's building this massive mansion up on a forest, or up on a hill.
But it's the armory. Think of it. You get into the bowels of the dungeon. You find this big guard. You find there's tons of suits of armors. There's this big ball and chain, right? It's stocked up for an army. So I mean, I guess maybe you're rich enough to have an army, but I just imagine royalty more than likely is the kind of people that have.
Could
right?
be. Is this just the summer home of the Hyrule?
Well, I don't know if it's summer. I think it's just a fortress. It's built kind of like a fortress up in the hills. Last retreat, you send your precious Princess Zelda up there to hide if something bad happens. Okay.
Gotcha. Your what? Helm's Deep. Ah, my goodness, I almost lost my Lord of the Rings card.
Yeah, exactly. Or your Casterly Rock. Right, it's a big fortress, hard to penetrate unless you know the sewers. We all saw Game of Thrones. And then finally, how about the Secret Grove, Temple of Time? So it could be an old old forest that has a spot for the Master Sword. Could it be the forest from A Link to the Past, and the Temple of Time is the sanctuary? But then, actually, the Temple of Time, when you first walk in, and the Temple of Time in this game, pretty darn near close to the exact same layouts until you hit your sword, and then all of a sudden this little balcony appears, and you go up and you enter this other world. So did that exist in the Castle Town Temple of Time from Ocarina of Time? Maybe. I don't know, but it does seem like one of those things. Could a giant evil forest take over Castle Town and destroy it in such short time, or was this a different Temple of Time built deep in the woods? Probably closer to that, right? Maybe we were wrong on the Forest Temple and the Arbiter's Ground being a tying, and maybe there is more of there's just old shit hidden in the woods, right? So there's a Forest Temple, there is an old sanctuary, they had a replica of the Temple of Time that can interlock, through time or something to one another. I don't know.
Could be. I'm just is the Temple of Time just this kind of because it can actually move in time, can it also move in space? Oh. So it can when threatened or whatever, or it can kind of come and go and fade into time as necessary, or reappear whenever it needs to.
I mean, could it be some type of weird ethereal spiritual out of dimension? Maybe, I don't know. But those are all of the places that we've sort of kind of visited. Maybe I'll have more in the next episode. Those are just ones we have to cover up and go through and talk about why these dungeons are the way these dungeons are. Specifically, since we're focusing so much on the dungeons in this game. Wow. Amazing. Amazing show, guys. Woo, part 4. Yay. What's left? All that's left is a cultural significance where we look at side characters. Wow. Amazing.
Well, I think some of the side characters are the most intriguing part of this game.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Let's see what good old ChatGPT wrote. So, side quests. So, cultural significance: Wolf, Link, Midna, and the rise of the companion character. So, Midna becomes one of Nintendo's most iconic, fully voiced, no, it wasn't, personality-driven companions. I mean, I guess she, had dialogue boxes. It represents Nintendo's testing the waters for strong narrative characters in a mostly silent protagonist series. Wolf Link plus Twilight Realm imagery created a wave of fan art, fandom content, cosplays, and online communities that still persist today. The era that marks the start of Zelda's modern fandom boom. This game hit right when forums, early YouTube, and fan cultures were exploding. It's true.
yeah. And okay, now, at this point in time, is this peak remember when wolves on T-shirts were just everywhere? You would just go through them all and you just see random stuff like wolves on blankets, wolves on T-shirts. I'm like, is this I don't know. Was Twilight around at this point?
I don't know. When's Twilight around? Yeah, because Twilight's a thing. I mean, maybe Hangover wrecked it, but I was just thinking of Zach Galifianakis' Lone Wolf T-shirt when we talk about that was in my mind the peak of wolf shirts was the Hangover.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Twilight movie 08. I mean, yeah, werewolves are right around the corner, so 08, 09. Yeah. Interesting.
And it's but when is the Hangover? Hangover is 2009.
See?
So it's building. There's
maybe, yeah, wolves on blankets and walls and stuff. It wasn't just in that weird girl or that weird old lady's house that smokes all the time in her apartment. Not just for her walls anymore. It's for all of our shirts. Wow.
It got unironically really popular somewhere. So it was just everywhere for a little bit. And it was
I love when they howl at the moon. That's a coyote. Yes.
And it was so many of them. It was why is this happening?
Yeah. Wolves also howl at the moon. No, they don't. Just coyotes. Really? There's no way to find out. Or let me know. That's what ghosts are like. What was the other thing? Let's do a podcast. One of our shows the other day that came out. And I was like, we forgot to say something. Oh, time travel. Before we get into my final thing and we compliment AI one last time, I watched this thing about time travel. If you could accelerate if you could get just constant acceleration in space. You're in outer space. We have fuel. It takes no issues. We have unlimited fuel. You can go as fast as you want, and you crank up the acceleration and you accelerate close to the near speed of light, and you continue to accelerate. You'll find that time slows down in such a way that you could travel across the known galaxy. So you can travel approximately 120 billion light years. But because you're constantly accelerating towards the speed of light, time actually slows down and dilates. So as you decelerate out of this, you can't just hit hard stop, by the way, when you're going that fast. Otherwise, bad things happen. You have to decelerate if you're accelerating. It would only take you about 9 years to make the journey across the known galaxy.
There you go. It's pretty close.
But when you turned around and came home, it would take you about 18, maybe, 20 years all in. 240 billion years would have passed on Earth. So there's a chance that it's going to look different.
Yeah. I mean, if you're interested in more people at home, watch Interstellar. They did a pretty good job.
Yeah, that one holds up. Yeah, it kind of gets you there, and you're like, what the fuck? Yeah,
get you most of the way there.
Yeah, cool, awesome. Perfect. So
one other thing I wanted to mention before we get into all this kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. I thought about this the other day when I was playing this. I'm like, so this is the last show before we're going to get into we know all the little nitty gritties. This is my first time playing this, so I don't know all these things.
Yeah.
The game is called Twilight Princess.
Yeah.
So Twilight is the moment it is in between light and darkness.
Yeah.
So who's the Twilight Princess? Is it Zelda or is it Medea? And I think it's Medea. This is my last chance for a theory, so I'm just going to throw this out here.
Okay.
I think Medea is like, this isn't the real world. Like the Twilight world and the regular world are like split. And once we get this mirror all combined, it's going to bring together the light and the darkness, hence why it's called Twilight Princess. I don't know. And Medea is going to be the one that does all these things. So once everything is all like healed, the world's going to be a lot more brighter. That's why the saturation's super dialed back. That's why this world kind of has like this like gross half-filled world to it, because it's not actually the full world. This is just the Twilight world, which doesn't have the full light and the full dark. So I don't know. I'm playing around with it. I still don't know why else would they call this game Twilight Princess. It makes no sense to me.
I'll do it, guys. Don't worry, I got this one. It's Midna, not Medea.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? If you give me a name to read, I will read it wrong.
Interesting note that you've noted that the name of the title leaves a little vague as to what's going on. And we've seen the Zelda sacrifice already in the story. How's that going to come back into play at the end? Are they going to be able to land it? Are we going to find out what's happening with this weird saturation? I don't know. Tune in to find out. I know what's happening. I'm in. So yeah, it's a thought. Stay on that track, and you might be satisfied with the ending. We'll see.
We'll see.
Okay, so before we do the actual notes made by a real person, we have to say thanks, AI, for that four sentences. Man, you really copy and pasted that. Woo! So now some random chit-chat about companions in Zelda games. So we're going to kind of leave the Twilight Princess, the part 4, the retrospective, and we're going to look at the last 40 years of Zelda and do a little bit of a big celebration. Be like, woohoo, Zelda! And then next, we'll probably do a deep dive. Well, not a deep dive. We'll do kind of similar things, but maybe talk about the games in general, or what we remember, and our experiences, and go through kind of all the games, the big kind of wrap-up retrospective in honor of the 40th year of Zelda. Start with this. So we have to look at companions. So I've got each game. So we're going to talk about them and the impact on the story. I don't know. Are we picking the best? Maybe. I don't know. See what happens. So Zelda 1. Our only companion is the old man. So he gives us a sword and then leaves hints. Okay. All right.
Set the bar high.
Yeah, Zelda 2. Okay, this is the challengers coming to town. We got the townspeople. We have some knights. We have some old men. We have Error. And we have our buddy Bagu.
Definitely got to go, Zelda 2. That. How else are you going to get healed unless that one lady takes you into her house?
Yeah. Saying they assist Link by giving him spells. So without them, Ganon might have been returned. Okay, that's pretty exciting. So good job, Zelda 2. How about Link's Awakening? We have Marin. One time we pick her up and she's like, da-da-da-da. That's kind of funny. And then she follows us. The owl. They tell us stuff.
Saria? Navi?
Link's Awakening? No.
Oh, sorry. I'm thinking, yeah. Yeah, you kind of by yourself
owl.
on that one.
Yeah, you forgot about the owl on that stupid Game Boy.
Yeah. I try to black that part out.
Yeah. Okay, so still Zelda
Marin.
2. Okay. Yeah. Link to the Past. So Sahasrara, he gives us boots. And then he does telepathically talk to us across the void into the Dark Realm.
Your uncle that dies at the beginning, it's like, here's my stuff. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Oh, okay. That's too bad. Huh. Okay.
Yeah. I think, after thinking about it's Marin from Link's Awakening, she at least has parts to play. And it's kind of sad when you leave at the end. So it's her, obviously.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now we kind of get into actual companion characters. We get Navi from Ocarina of Time. So she provides assistance, tips, and advice. At the end of the game, she leaves, which causes Majora's Mask to happen, and then the Wind Waker. So basically monumentally changing the timeline and future events.
You know what? And without her, Ocarina of Time would be pretty hard, because without Navi targeting, how would anyone beat that game?
Could you beat it without? It would be tough. It would be tough.
I bet you could. It'd just be a pain.
Yeah, because I think it'd almost be impossible because you couldn't even do a jump attack because you'd hit Z, you'd target, and you're like, well, I guess I failed the challenge. So you'd have to disable it somehow with a widget in game or something, right?
Okay, so there's a challenge to all you Ocarina of Time speedrunners and perfectionists. Do a Navi free run.
Yeah, no Z. Don't press Z. Couldn't even do your
The entire
bomb
one.
jumps. Oh, man. All right, how about Majora's Mask? So we have Tail. So the tattle of Tail. She provides assistance, tips, and advice. She kind of just B-dogs you, and in the end, she just hangs out with the Skull Kid.
Oh, she's awful. Just constantly ragging on you. Nah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So it's still Navi.
Still Navi. Okay, all right. So Wind Waker, we get the King of Red Lion and Tetra. So one is our ship, and then the other turns out to be the royal or the Hyrulean royalty and helps us ultimately defeat Ganon and break the curse that has been plaguing the lands of Hyrule.
I think it's King of Red Lions. Like they got a lot. Like Navi's kind of irritating to a point. Like, listen, no. It's got to be King of Red Lions. And Tetra.
I like the sounds that he makes. Yeah, they're fun.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's fun. You're like, whenever I see that ship, you smile. If you have a great, like, I have a pretty good, like, I like Wind Waker. It's like seeing that guy just like, as soon as he gets introduced, you're like, now the game's starting. So,
All right, how about Twilight Princess? We have Midna. So she's sassy, full of attitude. She helps us travel around the world, transforms into a human and a wolf. And then Zelda sacrifices herself to save Midna, but then she's just kind of back alive. So then at the end, I guess we were sad that our friend leaves.
I kind of am leaning towards Midna because like the entire story is based around her, but
Yeah.
it's kind of also true with like King of Red Lions and Tetra. So GameCube companion so far the best. I don't know. Interesting. I don't know who to
Well,
pick.
technically, Twilight Princess is part Wii. Let's see if we can get back in there when we throw Skyward Sword into the mix. We got Fee. Just like Wii, but she's Fee. She's a computer girl that lives in the sword, and then she fuses with it to make it the Master Sword.
Man, I am not looking forward to Skyward Sword. I have no idea what's going on. I'm confused and perplexed.
No, that's what I said. She's a computer girl that lives in the sword. What's difficult with that? But then I was like, okay, so I think Twilight Princess, you're still up top. But man, we got all these fun handheld games and spin-offs. Let's look at these. So we got to go to the Minish Cap, guys. Eslo, he's our hat, and he helps us shrink and grow.
I think I'm still leaning towards Midna.
Yeah, stupid hat. How about the Oracle of Ages? So you get one of 3 animal companions. You can ride them. They're cute. They explore the world.
They are pretty adorable.
Yeah. Rocky and Diego? No, what's the Dodongos? Names might be Diego.
Yeah. I think I'm still leaning towards Midna just because, honestly, until you mentioned the animals in Oracle of Ages, I forgot all about them.
Yeah, you don't think about Mushu? That's weird. The Flying Panda. How about Four Swords Adventures? There's 3 other Links. What? Not just you, but 3 other guys. They help you battle, solve puzzles, explore, and finish the game. Then they become you. And they're Link, Blink, and Dink, your cousins.
Yeah. Is that canon? Is that canon? Their names?
No, I just made that. I mean, it's canon on our shows because I'm pretty sure last summer I said that. So
Yeah. Well, you know what? No, I'm still going Midna. As
right.
funny as that is.
I almost got you. How about the Philips CDI games? You got these crazy animated people as you explore the worlds. They reveal to you the reflection of your soul, their crazy animations and their voice works as you question what makes you reflect and search the everlasting ounce of what life is.
You know, there's nothing more memorable about that game than the side characters and people kicking around, because some of those graphics are horrifying.
Yeah, they're just not good. I don't know.
No,
yeah, okay.
Not good at all.
Okay. How about that one Zelda book we had about a moblin? And he made Bomb Link? It was Link, but he explodes and he's made of bombs and he saves you from a moblin.
You know what? Goated companion of all time is Bomb Link. If you know what random book Mick is referencing, you are having a good time, because this was the stuff we needed in our lives. Was Zelda, like 12 pages of like Link being like, yes, there's a moblin, I must kill it. Give me a bomb, blows it up. The end. You're like, this is everything I needed in a book. This should be a comic.
The Legend of Zelda, the Moblin's Magic Spear.
Oh, yeah, there was a spear in it.
He has a magic spear. Something about water, Boblin, and then he picks up bombs and explodes them in his face to escapes.
Man.
Is there like other?
That's what I was just thinking. I was like,
Children's
is there
takes
other
place.
books in this series? Because I want them all.
Yeah, I don't know if it is. I think it might just be a one-off. Huh. Cool.
Shame.
Okay, and then finally, how about A Link to the Past / Super Metroid Randomizer? So your companion in that game is Samus. She explores half the game and finds and shares valuable equipment with Link. I did have a Scheisler category. This whole time I lied. Huh. Remember I said it was all clean? The last two were just Scheislers. Huh. Huh.
You know what? I'm going to give it to Samus.
All right.
As much as I love that little, like, that Moblin thing, it's like, that's it. But I would have not been able to beat that game if it wasn't for Samus. Technically correct.
Yeah. Yeah, I made all the games I liked had more compelling arguments than the other ones. Weird.
Yeah,
Moblin.
funny how that works.
Magic Spear. I think it's on eBay. Could we own the Moblin?
It's on Amazon. You can literally buy it on Amazon right now.
$75? Somebody's asking for it.
You can buy it on Amazon for $70 plus $10 shipping.
Oh, it's still, man. Okay.
To Canada.
Bonkers. We definitely don't own that book, so I just can't imagine that's a thing that survived. Okay, cool. So with that wraps up this fun podcast. We got one more. We're coming back. We're going to end this game. We got kind of, if you squint, 2 dungeons, plus, I guess, Hyrule Castle. We got to storm at the end and save the day, but we'll be back. A little bit more content to end the game. We could talk about the ending, how we liked it, and we'll do a big ending, glorious retrospective on The Legend of Zelda. We're back in 2 weeks with a game, another GameCube game, actually. So, back with this, and then I don't know where that leads us after that. So, but cool. Did we miss anything?
We forgot to mention that The Legend of Moblin's Magic Spear book had a cassette.
Oh, so you didn't have to read. You could just follow along. Cool.
Perfect. No wonder I enjoyed it as a kid.
Yep. This is the perfect kind of reading, audiobook film.
Like, there's like 70 words in this. I'll listen to a cassette.
Excellent. Cool. Awesome. So with that wraps up our show. We're back in 2 weeks with a GameCube game and go from there. So hopefully you guys are following along, enjoying. Hopefully you've had some time to play through Twilight Princess yourself and enjoy it. So I think we'll say bye and talk to you guys in a couple weeks.
See you.
Bye.